What's up, everybody? Coach Ben podcast here with Jim from Jiu-Jitsu Magazine. What's up, Jim?
What's going on, Coach Ben? So, a topic that came up, we talked about a little bit, the customs and courtesies of jiu-jitsu, and in particular, bowing. Bowing before going on the mats, but as I like how you put it, bowing to pitchers.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
First of all, thank you to Muscle Farm HQ for giving us the location. So bowing. So bowing is, we've been talking about traditions in jiu-jitsu recently, right, Jim?
Yeah.
Bowing is like one of the main ones, right? I consider it part of a respect. It's part of the respect category of traditions.
Sure, right.
And generally, when it comes to respect traditions, I'm very liberal when it comes to that. I think you should do it, especially if you're visiting an academy. You know, if I visit academy and they bow on and off the mats, I would, you know.
When in Rome.
I would definitely do that because one of the reasons is, why not? You know, does it hurt you to bow?
Absolutely free.
It's absolutely free. You know, it's a free sign of respect. And also, at my academy, I try to tell my students to do that. You know, it's one of our etiquette rules, right? But I don't enforce it. You know, if you don't do it, I'm not going to call you out. I try to teach the kids to do it. I don't really teach the kids class, so I just tell my kids instructors to keep that tradition going. And like I said in a previous episode, when it comes to traditions, if there's no harm and only good that can come from it, if you're just going to show respect, I believe you should do it. I believe it's a good tradition. Now, there are other sides of this, obviously, and we're going to get to that. But bowing to me, to other people, is always good. Bowing to the mats is always good. You know, bowing on and off the mats. And there are definitely people out there that find bowing to be like a silly thing. You know, they don't want to do it. And I'm going to be honest. When I see people like that say that kind of stuff, I'm thinking they have quite a sense of entitlement. Because why do you think it's silly? You know, humble yourself and bow. Why not? Mm-hmm. If you think it's silly, fine, right? But keep that to yourself, because to other people it's not silly, and to other cultures it's not silly. So you're basically saying the entire Japanese culture is silly because that's part of what they do. And I guess you have the right to that opinion, but
Sure.
Again, like I said, the guiding principle here for me is it doesn't hurt, so why don't you do it?
Yeah, and I think it falls into the category of, first off, context and intent. So the intention for the bowing, generally speaking, is a nod of respect. That's all it is. It's a courtesy. Like when someone says, "Hey, how you doing?" "Yeah, I'm doing well." Or if someone says hi, you say hi back. So
Right.
I think it falls in the line. So when people have a problem with that, it's important to understand the context. It's like, okay, where are you coming from? But why is it such an issue to be courteous, right?
Yeah. One other thing, I guess, is not necessarily bowing to others. Another part I want to cover is not just bowing to others, but also bowing to like people on the wall, like pictures.
Okay.
Right. If you have like, for example, my many academies I've been to, you have pictures of old Brazilian
Helio and Carlos
red
Gracie.
belts. Yeah,
Right.
Helio. Sure. You have Carlos. You have some academies have Maeda.
Right.
And you know, again, this is one of these things where it's just part of, you know, if I'm visiting an academy and they have that, I think that's fine. You know, I will definitely bow to the picture. I don't necessarily have pictures of that at my academy. I have one picture, and it's Hodger and Henzo wearing plain street clothes, and it's one of my favorite pictures of jiu-jitsu because it shows them as just normal people.
Right.
You know, they look like normal guys. We don't bow to the picture. We just look at the picture. Mm-hmm. You know, and I respect Henzo and Hodger a lot. And I really that picture illustrates a philosophy I have, is that it doesn't matter if you're a black belt. it's just your belt color is just your belt color, and at the end of the day, we're all just normal humans.
You are of the people. And that
Yeah.
picture, I think it's safe to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, it kind of shows these pillars of jiu-jitsu as normal people, normal,
Right.
and of the people.
Right. So, I guess this is the one part where it can get a little weird, right? Is when you're bowing to pictures, because so at one of my older academies, right? It was originally the picture on the wall started with just Elio, right? And then there was my instructor's instructor was on the wall, right? And this guy's still alive.
Okay.
Okay, so we're bowing to a picture of a guy who is actually alive, and then he put his picture under there. So now we're bowing to the picture of my old instructor, who not only is alive but is in the academy every day.
Every day.
So we kind of started creating this thing where we're bowing to a picture of a guy who is also the head instructor of the gym, even when he's not there. And I think it's, to me, I own an academy, and I think that's a bit cringy to me. But
Right.
more importantly, I think that can set you down a path of like culty behavior. Because why would I want you to bow to a picture to me if I'm in the academy every day or every other day or whenever I'm teaching, unless I want you to, respect me more, right? Or treat me as, I guess, special, right? And I don't want that, at least at my academy. I don't want that. I'm rarely in my academy when I'm not teaching or I have some purpose there. I don't like to hang out and, people come by and, say what's up and kiss my hand or what. I don't want any of that stuff. I just want, this is a weird story, but I want to be the guy who, when I come to the gym and kind of, I'm not teaching or anything, and maybe I'm cleaning, I want people who are like maybe in the kids class or the teens that don't know me to be like, hey, who's that old guy there? What's his purpose in the gym? And I just want to be a cog in the machine. I don't really like being the face. So the worst thing for me would be to put my own picture up there. And I do have affiliates too, and I don't want any of my affiliates to put my picture on the wall, especially while I'm alive. Because it's one thing to show respect with a picture of somebody, once they've passed away, and you want to remember their legacy. It's a whole nother thing when they're alive and you're kind
Fully
of
functional.
worshiping them. Yeah, that to me is strange. Is somewhat strange. What do you think, Jim?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of this is an open palette here, and I think I agree with you. It can very easily fall in the category of culty type of behavior.
Yeah.
But I would also give a caveat to that and say that not all academies that practice that is a form of culty, because especially when you get into bigger academies, I think, chain of command.
Yeah.
We do that, something like that in the military, where you're calling, it could be a 24-year-old lieutenant, which is in the officer ranks, pretty low rank, but you could be a non-NCO, like a staff sergeant who's been in for 18 years, and now by doctrine, you are to call that 24-year-old sir.
Yeah.
So, on one hand, there is a purpose when you try to instill a form of discipline, especially if you're a large organization, to where it kind of is important to know who's who and who is of, I hate to use the word, lack of a better term, important, because I believe, we're all important, but to that system. And I think for the effort of creating some sort of structure in an academy, structure is important, when you want things to run clean. But yeah, with the intent and there it goes to intent. We do this to,
why are you doing it?
Right. And I think that's the key, not to, you shall respect my authority.
Right. I think you're in the military example that you brought up. I think that's, it's a hierarchy of command. It's a org chart basically, and I think it's very
org chart.
It's very useful.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
And
let me just wrap it up. And in some in the more like you go down to Brazil, they have a bunch of black belts, but some of those black belts have the white panel instead of the red panel. And those mean different things. And like those identify the fighters. And it was told to me at one point, yeah, because in areas like Brazil, where their history goes back further than our history in the States of jiu-jitsu, it's like you can have a class of 20 black belts, and they do need to kind of represent who's who, So I don't know where I was really going with that, but I think all in all, for the intention of establishing some sort of organization, I think is very important.
Yeah, obviously we're talking kind of different. That's the whole purpose, right?
Right?
To me, intent is everything.
Right.
I don't care about tone or any of that stuff as long as your intent is pure, right? I don't care about if you put the picture on the wall if your intent is good. If you put if you're an instructor and you own a gym and you put your picture on the wall, but you treat everybody with respect, and you don't let culty stuff happen, and you don't have special privileges. Whatever. I don't mind. I do think it's cringy still, but it's.
Agreed.
I don't mind.
Agreed. Right.
I also think when people put their name in things, it kind of is cringy to me too. If you have a logo and your name is like in the logo, I don't know. I just maybe I don't want to use the word cringy. It's just not my style.
There you go. Yeah,
because it feels like I'm
cringy.
putting that above. I'm putting because to me it's all about the team, right? It's all about the organization. It's all about the team. Yeah.
Agreed.
If it's about the team, then your name shouldn't be above the team, and it shouldn't be in there. It shouldn't be the team. Unless your name is the part of the team, right? So I see people's logos where it'll be like My academy is called a school of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Mm-hmm. So if I put school Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and then somehow in that logo I fit my name in there.
Schmuckatelli's School of Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, it's just kind of not even that. That's that. I'm actually okay with that.
Or
it's just put School of Jiu-Jitsu, and then in the school you put your name in the logo somehow. It's not even part of the name. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on it. I just think that the respect traditions, they're fine. I will definitely do that when I visit, an academy. But what I won't do is I won't make it all about me. If it's all about the intent really, and if the intent is good, then I'm good with it. If it causes like culty behavior, then I'm not cool with that. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think that's all fair. And I think it'd probably be good, or for people's best interest, to kind of take a look at that. Feel free to internally question it, and if you can, externally question it to the facility and staff. And this is all predicated on the idea that it's even important to some people.
Yeah.
But it's a fair question to ask. Like, what kind of organization am I involved in? Why do we do this? How far do they take the respect and all that? Like, for me personally, I like bowing and on and off the mats. I'm not 100% with that ratio, but I do it just as a courtesy, as much as slapping hands, bumping knuckles before and after every round. I think things like that are important to keep a friendly atmosphere and keep an order of respect and courtesy to everyone. To me, courtesy is paramount.
Yep.
But not to the point of cultiness.
Yep.
You don't have to call me sir.
I don't really like, being called professor either, but if somebody at somebody else's academy wants to be called professor, I don't mind.
You better damn well call me professor.
I'm not going to do it, but especially since you're coming to my academy.
Oh yeah.
But I tell my students to do it because I think it's not a toxic thing. It doesn't. I mean, it could be, I guess. If you, I remember people used to be called like master. I think that's kind of you're going down a weird path there. But yeah, we can cover the professor thing another time. So. Again, my general guiding principle here is if it doesn't cause any toxic or harmful effects, then do it. Bow to that picture. I'm definitely not going to create an issue over bowing to a picture.
Yeah, to me that's a flag. That's a red flag. It's like the person of the hierarchy, how far will they take that? I can understand with kids, with children, because they're still developing, they're still learning. But once you get into the adult world, it's really, it is kind of bizarre and odd. I mean, I do get it, and I'm not against it, but to insist on, I know you pay $100 or however much someone pays a month to be here. I know you're paying me, but on top of that, you're going to call me master. or
yeah,
you
it's
know,
super weird.
It's weird,
but
yeah.
it is what it is. Like I said, just use the guiding principle, and I think this is one of the I guess the less toxic traditions that we have in jiu-jitsu.
There you go. So what do you think, people? I mean, what do you think? Leave a comment below and tell us your story. If you have any kind of story about, this type of situation, hit Ben up on Instagram at Coach BZ, myself, Jiu-Jitsu Mag. And, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.